So good evening everyone. Hope my voice is clear and audible to everyone, and the screen is visible for everyone also. So we are going to discuss the enterprise edition of Java that we call advanced Java also, and what is the difference between advanced Java and normal core Java. So people who knows programming, core Java is used for the basic normal application or Windows application, and where advanced Java or Java enterprise edition is used for the web development, app development, and the distribution application development. So importance of in core Java, what we say, it is Java standard edition, and Java enterprise edition is advanced Java. So what is the use of Java, and what is the importance of Java enterprise edition? So standardization first. So if you are going to create something, right, so you can easily distributed. Initially, when Java was introduced into 1990s. So Java used to create Windows or desktop application basically. So there was no these days everyone is onto mobile application or website. These days website development was not that much important. Over over there was the Windows application was important. So slowly gradually Java adopted the situations, and advanced Java created in a certain manner that provides a lot of security, a lot of safety in online edition. So what is the importance of Java enterprise edition, and how you are how it's going to benefit you when you are going to learn Java? So a lot of people talk about these days a lot of new languages like PHP, Python, or maybe .NET, and what is the use of Java? Or a lot of people say Java is dead, but I make sure ki Java is not dead, and there are a lot of opportunities into Java, especially when you learn Java. First is standardization. So you can create an application and it can easily scalable. So whatever you create, it can easily replicated or easily scalable into different platforms. Second, component based development. So if you understand development or especially object oriented programming, what object oriented programming bring, that you can development create a component based or a module based development, where you can create Java beans or enterprise Java beans or small components, then club them together to make a whole program. And a security, what Java provides that no other language can provide is security. That is why if you know banking applications, all the banking applications runs on Java only, or created through Java only, because it is hard to hack, or it is hard to crash also. So that is why all the banking, all the financial companies believe in Java only. So if you have any query regarding, you can unmute yourself or ask me a question. So for this, I believe you should know the basic of Java at least, basics of core Java at least, or basics of little bit HTML. So this two things can help you to create the Java advanced Java applications or advanced Java websites, right? So what is the more importance, that is integration capabilities. Eh, the integration happens different connector architectures or JMS or enterprise level services that is used by the businesses only. And seventh, community and ecosystem. Java has the one of the largest ecosystem, and a lot of community, lot of developer are on there. Out of 10 developer, 3 to 4, 30 to 40% developer uses Java directly or indirectly. So there is a large number of ecosystem libraries is available to that you can use into Java, right? uh so comparison between Java enterprise edition and Java standard edition. So standard edition is core Java and enterprise edition is advanced Java. So what was the purpose? So Java standard edition's purpose was to create basic tools, library, general Java development, or specifically on desktop applications, command line tools, and especially desktop applications, where Java EE, the JEE used for the what to say, large scale enterprise and APIs, that is distributed, scalable and secure, that goes into web only, right? Now what is the application scope? Again, Java standard edition or core Java is used for the basic GUI development, where Java enterprise edition or advanced Java is used for the web services or distributed computing. So if you know core Java, you can understand this very easily. So deployment. So in even in Java enterprise edition, we use core Java a lot. We use a lot of coding from the core Java part. So core Java is what? So initially J2SC, that is Java standard edition. In core Java, Java web start, where Java virtual machine or Java runtime environment is available. And JEE is core Java plus servlet JSP enterprise Java beans. Or if know core Java, JDBC, that is Java database connectivity, and XML files, that is used for the again data transfer from one place to another place. So again, use of JEE. First, e-commerce websites. So you can create the e-commerce website where you can sell, purchase, like Amazon or Flipkart, etc., etc. The retail website can be used to create through Java enterprise edition, or we call it advanced Java now. Second is banking system. All the internet banking, any banking website or application is developed through Java or their backend. So there are three part into online. There is one is front end, that is the a client is going to see, and there is a backend. Backend is for a server part where every code is running and your database is also over there. So all the internet banking, or what to say, banking systems are trusting Java a lot because it is safe, it is secure, and it is very easy to comply with. Enterprise resource planning, जो ERP softwares होते हैं. So if you understand ERP softwares, so CRM software, that is completely managed through Java. So web services, web applications, enterprise specifications, और जो बाकी चीजें होती है वो सारी की सारी came on to advanced Java only. Uh, Again, there are three layers. First is presentation layer, that is or client side. Second is business logic layer, that is server side. And integration layers, where all the component club together. Data access layer, where we do connectivity with Oracle or SQL, or MySQL. Or infrastructure layer, where all the components are created, all the functionalities are there. So this is the basic architecture of Java, advanced Java, basically. So there are client tier, where HTML pages are there or browsers are there. So how client is going to access? These days there is an application also, mobile applications. But initially when Java was created, there is a browser, internet browser, Chrome browser or Firefox, from where you type just www.hdfcbank.com. So whatever you see, it is just presentation layer. So behind that, when you enter your username, password, after you see all the details of your account, that is your backend, how your backend or web application is working, right? So in online thing, there is two things. One, uh, static website. Second is dynamic website. So static website is created through normal HTML programs. What is normal HTML? Like a website that don't interact with the customer is going to only open that website, and after opening that website, customer can only read, but it cannot communicate with that. He cannot write with that, right? So these are the things. That is static website. What is dynamic website? So dynamic website is called as web applications. So web application is going to interact into both ways. So they are going to send you some communication, they can receive the communication from your side, and on the basis of all those things, they can calculate something, they can help you out with something. So I am going to show you example कि if you learn the Java Enterprise Edition और Advanced Java, आप जब Advanced Java सीख लेते हो, तो आप किस तरीके के प्रोग्राम बना सकते हो और आपको वो किस तरीके से हेल्प करती है. First, जैसे कि so there is a a project made by my student. I'm going to show you a small project. So आप में से किसी को भी क्वेश्चन हो, if there are any query, you can unmute yourself and ask, and it is a good thing. So you know I like two ways communication because I don't like to speak and talk and then I'll go. You can also ask questions. You can ask your queries, confusions regarding advanced Java, core Java, or data structure or database. No issues into it. So it is a NetBeans. So that is an integrated development environment. So you can use what to say Eclipse, you can use IntelliJ, and you can use NetBeans also. So there are three popular integrated development environment for Java programs or Java development. You can use any of them. So for that, for Java or especially advanced Java, we need to install Tomcat server also, because we need to put things on a local host. So it is just executing the program that was created. So it's just an what to say a real estate website that shows data onto client side ki, okay, what they are going to sell. So project name is gp2, and first is local hosts. So this is the basic website, right? So what this website do? सो इस वेबसाइट में आप मल्टीपल चीजें अपलोड कर सकते हो और बहुत सारी चीजें उसके अंदर कर सकते हो. सो नाउ आई शो यू कि ओके व्हाट दिस प्रोजेक्ट कैन डू. इफ विल गो ऑन टू कॉन्टेक्ट, सो दिस इज जस्ट HTML पेजेस, राइट? So first I'll show you first what it can do. If you are going to insert your details, it is going to show the admin part. So if you are going to enter like Pankaj, okay, Pankaj at the rate skills101.com, subject line is something, then you can write any message whatever you want to write and send message. Now you are seeing it is an HTML file. So lead is saved. Whatever you have written, the admin, the स्पेशली जो जिसने वेबसाइट क्रिएट करवाई है, जिसकी कंपनी है, वो उस मैसेज को रिसीव कर सकता है अपने एडमिन डैशबोर्ड के ऊपर. नाउ हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू एक्सेस एडमिन डैशबोर्ड? सो जैसे कि मान लीजिए कोई भी वेबसाइट है, गूगल की है या HDFC की वेबसाइट है या फिर किसी भी कंपनी की वेबसाइट है, एज ए यूजर हम उसका एडमिन पार्ट एक्सेस नहीं कर सकते हैं, ठीक है? बट क्योंकि हमने एडमिन क्रिएट किया है इसके अंदर, सो हम इसको एडमिन को एक्सेस करने की ट्राई करेंगे बैकएंड में, और इसका यूजर नेम पासवर्ड एंटर करेंगे, लॉगिन करेंगे. सो एडमिन पार्ट पे कुछ चीजें होंगी जो कि एडमिन का पार्ट होगा. जैसे कि इफ यहाँ पर फ्रंट पे आपको चीजें दिखाते हैं, अभी आपको कोई भी प्रॉपर्टी यहाँ पर शो नहीं हो रही है, राइट? सो प्रॉपर्टी इज नॉट विजिबल, और कोई भी प्रॉपर्टी है नहीं यहाँ पर अभी प्रॉपर्टी लिस्ट के अंदर.
Sir, can you hear me?
या आई कैन हियर यू ब्रो.
Skills. Are you hear me?
या आई कैन हियर यू. एम आई ऑडिबल?
Sir, they say this is English, but you talking in Hindi.
मतलब इट इज मिक्सचर.
They
आई
say the
ट्राई टू
class is in English, but you are talking in Hindi.
yeah. So basically it is majorly in English, but I'll try to explain in both English and Hindi
Speak
over
in
here.
English. Sir.
Pardon? Yeah,
Then
I'll
you
try.
have to mention in the form. Then you have to mention in the form that is mixed with English and Hindi.
Okay. So are you able to understand what is I'm trying to say?
There are so many people in this class who only know English. So
Are you
please
able to
talk,
understand, Shiva?
teach us in English,
Are
sir.
you able to understand?
I am able to understand some bit, sir, but the Hindi part I don't understand. I
No
don't
issues,
get
no
it.
issues. I'll repeat it. Don't worry. I'll, try to do in a manner because my audience is both English and Hindi. I'll try to do in a manner that English part I'll repeat in Hindi later. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So, what is admin dashboard? Admin dashboard is of three things. One is view leads. If admin will go over there and try to see those leads, right? So, this is the lead that we entered through front end. So, what is the front end of presentation layer over here? This is the presentation layer. And what is the backend layer? This is the backend layer. And we have done the coding into advanced Java, that is through servlet or JSP. Now if we'll see upload property, view property, if we'll go into the view property part, so there is a no property, that is why over here no property is visible, right? If we are going to upload a property, for that what we'll do, we go into the upload property part. So this is an image uploader into the website. We are going to select a photo, or specifically we'll try to what to say, upload a photo of a property, uh, what to say, my demo. So upload a file of property, we for rent purpose. Property type is residential, commercial or industrial property, we will put it into residential part. Then we will got into the budgeting. So budgeting is more than 4 crore or 1 to 2 crore, and the location is like Delhi. So the title of property is XYZ, and content is a beautiful property neighborhood. Then we will upload this. I think screen is stuck. So now my screen is stuck or what? Harsh, are you there?
Yes, stuck.
Yeah. So okay. So now it's visible. So I'm restarting the server after uploading the photos and uploading the property. Now you can install Tomcat server or a Glassfish server. So we are using majorly over here is a Glassfish server. Harsh, you can mute again. Thank you. So it is there. Now, if we are going to see into that, what to say, the page, that page we are looking at, this one where property list is not there, but when we are going to refresh it, we are going to see the property that we uploaded, it is visible over here. That was property we have uploaded. My screen is visible. Yeah. So the xyz and the beautiful property is here. Yeah. So whatever we have uploaded, it is visible over here. Now if we're going to see into the, what to say, view data part, the view property part, if we are going to refresh it, after refreshment, so the property image is there right now. So these three things that student created into that website, okay, we can view leads, we can upload properties, we can delete a property, and we can view a property. So these things were included in this website, so that as a customer, or we can, the student created this website for a real estate developer, so that they can see. Give me a second. So, our student created this project for a real estate developer, so that they can, upload their images of properties, and they can, put it onto buy, sell, rent, and it can be used for their purposes. So these are the small applications that we can develop it through advanced Java part. And we can develop the library management system, or the college management system, or university management system, or even banking management system through advanced Java part. So this was just an example how advanced Java helps you to create a web applications, or slowly gradually, if you go into more depth, you can develop the mobile applications also through advanced Java. So this was the part. So the HTML, or the visible part to the customer, is, what to say, the presentation layer, or client side, or where all the coding part or the development part is there, or the database part is there, that is our server side. So now how we are going to develop these things into advanced Java. First, there is a tool, there is a, what to say, a class called as servlet. So we create Java servlet initially to develop all those programs. So when Java was there, the first they created was servlets. Initially, if you understand core Java, there was a applets was there. So servlet was the server applets. So these programs run onto the server. So if you understand their purpose, so this part onto web server part, where servlet runs itself, or connect with the database, or give output or input to the web browser. So web browser is customer side, where customer send HTTP request, or request again receive HTTP response. So it's a two-way communication on through servlet. Otherwise on HTML it's not a two-way communication. So for that purpose we use HTTP servlet class. We extend HTTP servlet class, or servlet interface, that implements servlet interface. So if you are going to use Tomcat server, it is on javax.servlet.http.http servlet. Or if you are going to use Glassfish or NetBeans, it is onto Jakarta part, because initially Java was under Sun Microsystem. Now Java is part of the Oracle company. So Sun Microsystem is sold to the Oracle. That is why Oracle created their own packages or naming convention after buying the Java. So first is servlet. In advanced Java, there are 3 to 4 things that is majorly used across whole program. First servlet. So how servlet works? What is the life cycle of a servlet? So servlet was the initialization part, then service part, then destruction part. So servlet create होता है, फिर servlet service provide करता है, then it is destroy. It is completely like, into garbage thing, right? And on server side there is a servlet container that helps to execute the servlet. So servlet runs onto Java virtual machine. So Java virtual machine or Java runtime environment is used for the running or execution part of the servlet. So what is the functionalities of servlet? So today's part will be little bit more theoretical onto servlet in JSP, and tomorrow we are going to create a servlet, or we are create an index file or a file where we can create an online calculator or small tools tomorrow, right? So what is the functionality of servlet? First, request handling. When there is any request comes from a browser side or client side, it can or what to say, receive the request or provide us few parameters or few inputs from the client side. Then second is response generation. After those requests, what kind of operation we perform onto server side, it is going to provide a response to the customer or a browser again. So it's a two-way communication through browser or client to server or server to client. One is state management, right? So when there is lot of traffic is going on or online part, state management or session management is very important. Like if nobody can access your data, like if you are going to log in into HDFC bank website or any website, what they do, they create a session. So if you go into their dashboard directly or you try to log in without the username password, it will automatically redirect you on login page. Okay, you are not authorized, first enter your username password, or after few seconds or few minutes when you are idle, it is automatically log out. That is called state management or session management, where you make sure that no unauthorized user can access the data that is confidential to you, right? Fourth is multi-threading. So servlet is going to use multi-threading to multiple processes or multiple calculation or multiple process at a same or simultaneously used. That is why we use multi-threading into servlet. But yeah, multi-threading is part of core Java specifically. So now again, what is the servlet lifecycle? It initializations, it starts, then it processes the request onto HTTP. So HTTP is protocol, internet protocol, that is created into 90s, 70s or 80s, I think, that is hypertext transfer protocol. So what they do, they transfer the data into text format into different way. So there are two major method that is used for that. That is do get method and do post method. And after that, when servlet is completed or server is going to shut down, it is going to destroy all the data that is saved during the processing. Now what is the deployment? So we deploy servlet onto server side, and again Apache Tomcat or Glassfish server, that is majorly used these days to create advanced Java programs. And to create servlet APIs through what to say, if I am going to create a servlet, my servlet is going to be accessed through all the services, all the programs that is available onto my server side. And third is servlet framework. So if you understand MVC framework, so MVC struts and in future springs or hibernate, that is used for different server side uses. The majorly used framework is MVC. We are going to understand MVC also. Now, second, after using of servlet, what servlet do? We do HTML programming into a core Java programming, right? If you, I'm going to show you a servlet program. So, like how a servlet looks like, just like an upload servlet. I'm going to show you this. So it's like in same Java program we import lot of packages. After what we do, we implemented or inherited HTTP servlet. So public class upload servlet extended extends HTTP servlet. So these are the programs that we program onto core Java also, or Java programming. Now there are different. So in writing we write about response dot set content type is to text HTML. So what we do HTML programming into Java programming. So that's how we use servlet to when the image was uploaded, we return onto the browser the image upload successfully. So these are the thing how servlet works. So servlet is a Java program that writes into browser through HTML programming. Now the second part, JSP, Java server, Java server pages. So Java server pages is different, how it programs Java programming into HTML file. So I'm going to show you how JSP works. So again, this is the JSP page. So over here, the HTML program is there, head, and all the tags are there, HTML tags are there. But through these tags, or specifically JSP tags, we do a lot of calculation. We run a loop also. This is a Java program into an HTML program where we created a string object or string variable. We println, use println, out dot println, or different things, loops also, if else condition also. So there's an if else condition into HTML program. So what we do in JSP, we do Java programming into HTML programming, where in servlet we do HTML programming into Java programming. So that's the major difference between servlet and
Screen
JSP.
converted less, sir.
Pardon?
Screen not visible, sir.
Screen not visible. uh
Yes, sir.
yeah, Shiva, is it visible to you? Because
Sir, it's not yet clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
okay, screen is visible. Harsh, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
So Vedichilla, you can rejoin, try to exit and then rejoin. I think screen is visible to
Yes, sir.
everyone.
It's visible, sir. Sir, now it's visible, sir.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
of network problem, it's not visible, sir.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So that's the difference between JSP and servlet. So servlet was the older technology, where JSP was little bit newer or advanced technology. So in servlet, what we do, again, in Java server pages, again JSP enables the creation of dynamic web pages that can generate content dynamically and interact with Java components. So JSP, when it is executed, it is first converted into servlet, then runs onto the Java virtual machines on server side. So functionality is using the tags, markup and Java code tags. So these are the specific tags that JSP use to run itself or run their programs. So JSP file translated into Java servlet by the JSP container during deployment or on the fly when accessed the first time. So when it is tried to access first time, JSP is converted into servlet. Then it got executed or perform its programming or whatever process they are used for. So it is dynamic content generation, integration with Java components, or using of JSP tag or expression language. So expression languages are those tags that is used, or there are a lot of predefined, what to say, methods over there. There are predefined lot of tags that we can use to calculate or process the things. Now deployment, again JSP files are typically deployed along with other web application resources. So if we are going to show you on server how it is going to, like, we are using Glassfish server. Over here is the coding part. So over here in build, source file and web app folder. So in web app folder all the files are there. So there is an HTML file. So there are servlet file. So servlet, how you going to find a servlet file? Intro png, JSP, JSP, HTML, 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 JSP. So these are directly loaded with the servlet file, but all the servlet. So these are the servlets. So servlet are stored into a different folder where JSP file is directly stored into HTML folder where all the data is there. So all the HTML files are there, index HTML is there, and all other HTML is there. So JSP can directly interact with in their folder. So JSP framework is MVC and struts that we can read about later because it is a little bit. MVC is model view controller that we are going to understand. So how Java server pages works. So on client side it requests for the JSP file, and on web server there is a JSP container or JSP engine. It will convert JSP file into servlet or interact with the database or whatever file we are trying to interact with, then create an HTML page response and return it back to the client side. That's how a JSP file works. So life cycle of a JSP file. So browser when requests to a server, so this whole is part of server. So when in web container or JSP container there's a requirement of JSP file, so my JSP.jsp is called, then it is converted into .java file, that is our what to say servlet file. Then it is compilation happen. In compilation what they created dot class file, then dot class file executes into servlet and threads on doing their database or initialization part and etc. After that it returns values to the browser. That's how the whole JSP life cycle works. And there is a one more announcement. I am going to put attendance what to say attendance form into chat box. Please, whoever interested into certification part, please fill up the form for attendance so that we can generate their attendance. And please, when you write down your name, make sure you write your name into right direction, whatever you love to write on your certification, so that you can get it onto your certification part. uh Simbu, you are raising hand. You can ask a question anytime. There is no issues. It's an open forum. There is no need to, raise a hand. You can unmute yourself and ask a question anytime. So I have, put the form. You can, go and write down the details. And I think this form is, what to say? There's the details. It's an old form. So if you are going to write mobile number, so you can rate the class and any improvement suggestion or your mail ID so that we can send the certification on your mail ID. Thank you for that. Now I'll continue ahead. So So now is Enterprise Java Beans. So Enterprise Java Beans, if you will understand slowly, gradually, it's the third stage of Java development. So when you start your advanced Java journey, you will start your advanced Java journey with servlets. Then you will go into JSP. Then you will go into EJB. What is EJB? It is like an what to say component based development where you create APIs or modules for your program or your website. Like if you there are multiple big programs or websites or web applications where not a single programmer is working, there are hundred of programmers that is working in a company. Now how you are going to task them? So I am going to give a team of 10 people. Okay, you develop the login part. The second team, okay, you develop the database part. Or third, you develop the presentation part. Or you develop an logic about what to say, it should not go into negative or any business development logic. So these are developed through EJBs. So EJBs are Java files that is reusable, scalable, or transactional components. It can create sessions that, the login session where you make sure ki, okay, if I have logged out my Gmail ID or my any ID, it means no other is going to access through that browser. So initially, if you understand, around 5 year or 10 years back, it was little bit easier to hack into things because session was little bit harder to use. Or if you don't log out through browser, it cookies was there, so anybody can hack into your cookies and access your data. But these days, if you don't use it for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, is automatically log out or make sure your all login credential will removed, so that it cannot be hacked easily, or it cannot be going to unauthorized access part, right? So Java beans are like this again. So in EJB container, so Java beans are created, then the our JSP file or servlet file is going to access those Java beans to perform our things. So EJBs are three types. So first is session EJBs, entity EJBs, or message driven EJBs. So these enterprise Java beans is used for different purposes. Okay, I have created a Java bean only for the session, so that it makes sure the session is created correctly and no unauthorized access will be required. Like I'll show you. So if no, so this is admin home.jsp. So if I am going to access when I am closing the browser, and I am re so if I try to re-access those things, like admin home.jsp, if I try to log in over here, so now I am trying to access admin home, but it automatically redirecting to me the login page. So I can't access admin home directly because it is created through session management. Now if I log in it, and after login my session is created. So now the session is created and I have logged in. Now I try to directly access that page, admin home. It is going to give me access. Again, if I try to access again into a new, that it is going to give me access directly into admin home. But if I'll close down the browser and again retry it, it will automatically send me back into login page. Why? Because it will check directly when it is trying to access this page कि it is a authorized access or unauthorized access. When data is not entered into login page, it automatically reject and it will redirect onto login page. So it happens, यदि आप लोग भी, you will also see sometimes कि when you try to access any gmail.com without login or home page, it will automatically redirect onto the home page or login page where you have to enter the login username password. So this is called the session management. So this is maintained through EJBs and uh, servlet part, where life cycle, transaction security, or remote method invocation is there. Or now the fourth part comes in. So these are the three parts. First is servlet, second is Java server pages, third is EJB enterprise Java beans, fourth are model view controller. So it's a framework. It's not a program, it's not anything else. It's just a framework that provides you clarity. Okay, what is used for the what purpose. So model represents the application data, business logic. It encapsulates the data structure, data access, provides method for manipulating or retrieving data. So model is what? Model is your business logic, like 2 plus 2 is 4, and if you are coding it, that is your model part. View is responsible for the presentation of data. So it's the part that is visible to the user. It is should be HTML templates, XML files that is accessible to user and user can see into. And controller is act as the intermediary in between two models or view. So if data is flowing between view and model to model, it is done through controller. So what is controller? Controller is intermediator, right? Which makes sure कि, okay, if you will send data from A point to B point, it goes over there and provide the required data. Where model is business logic, where you code the business requirement. Like if you are adding a part onto what to say, so if you are going to Amazon or Flipkart, or if you are going to add 10 item of a product, right? If your visible part is view, where when you plus those product into your cart, it is backend model is working and controller is providing those data to that. But if that product is out of stock after 5 units, so model is going to make sure कि okay, it is not going to add more than 5, because the product or stock is available is 5 only. So it cannot go up to the 10 or 20, it cannot go up more than 5. So that's how model view controller framework works. Or in model again, if I'll explain you, uh, this is our backend part, that's our what to say, model part. Or if I try to access directly without admin, it's the view part. So this is view and this is model. Or when it goes from one page to another page, so in between controller is used, which helps to transfer the data between two models. Or view part also, because whatever you are seeing over here, it's an HTML coding. Like if you will go over there and you try to inspect, what to say, where is inspect part, view page source or inspect. So it's an HTML coding if you're going to see over here. So it's a HTML coding, but it's not a HTML, it's a JSP part, but the Java part is hidden, because you are not going to see Java part onto a client side. It's not visible to the users, so that our coding, our logic is safe and secure from any intervention from the client side. So that's how model view controller works. It's how, it's the brain. Controller is the brain that controls and decides how data is flowing between model and view. View is the purely user interface, and data is data logics, model data, right? That's called an MVC framework or MVC architecture into double E or enterprise edition. uh, so what are the best practices that you can use? Code organization, key, you can write a code into a particular manner, you can use packages, you can use MVC architect to make sure your practice is there. Second, error handling. In Java, if you know, it's one of the finest to handle the errors or exception handling that goes into runtime system. Runtime errors are exceptions. Security considerations. Java provides one of the best security across platform through, if you are going to use any language, .NET or PHP or Python or any languages, it is the highest secure platform that Java provides. Or what to say, performance optimization. Java is also used through performance optimization. So these are the things that can you learn through coding. So what we'll initially understood four parts. One is servlet, second is Java server pages, Third is what to say, uh, enterprise Java beans, and fourth is model view controller. These are the four things that contributes your whole advanced Java part. Or it is basically, if you are going to learn it in depth, it will take around 1.5 months or 2 months to create these kind of project that I have shown you. Because one of my student created this project, and alone itself, matlab, there is no 2 3 students, it's only one student's programming that I have shown you. And again, I am putting the, what to say, the form link onto our chat session, so please make sure fill it if you are looking for certification, to fill in the form. Oh, it's a local host again. So I am now you can ask me any query regarding this. So today is basically completed. This is the theoretical part of advanced Java. Tomorrow we are going to learn how to create a servlet or how to interact with the HTML part. Attendance form.